Hey, you guys!
Hey.
Hey, Sam, Miss Queen Libra, Amaya, you guys. What a beautiful show we had today.
Let me tell you,
It was so beautiful.
indeed it was. Um, I get choked up every time I see some of those scenes.
Listen, I went back and I was looking at some of the stills from the. Tara posted some banners today, and the picture on Kelly's face when she is sitting there next to Finn, to me just says, I am so glad that this man is back home. I don't know what to do. Her little face just looks so freaking relieved in these pictures. And when I look at the pictures, I'm like, there's just levels to this. This little girl is acting her ass off today, and all she did was walk in this room.
But
But
she was yesterday too.
yeah, but that look that Tara got, let me see if I can share that picture. Just a look on her face. I almost just cut out the picture. Here it is. Let me see if I can share. Her little face in this picture just says everything to me. Look at her little face. Look at her face, girl. That face says Daddy is home.
Is you got the play button over her face, the pause button right on her face. Yes, that's the one. That's the one I asked Tara to make a banner for me.
That
That's the one I
right
would have put.
there.
Yeah. It's
The
gorgeous.
look on her face right there just says, my daddy is home. I ain't never seen her that relieved to see Liam.
She looks at peace, don't she? Don't she look
Yes,
at
she
peace?
does. That look like a child where everything is right in her little world.
That looks like a happy little girl.
Just stunned and happy. And we did get a new haze overnight.
Yes, we
Yes,
did.
we did.
They went to the Hayes grew up when he changed rooms. That was a hell of a walk Amelia took them kids home.
Well, you know, the our original Hayes is very cranky.
Yeah.
He don't like to be effed with, and he sometimes be looking at you like, yeah, you know I'm gonna cry if you pick me up. I don't even know why you're reaching. But
They,
that's my baby though. My
they,
cranky Hayes. That's my cranky Hayes.
they aged this Hayes so he would be the same age as Beth.
Child girl, you done started something now.
Beth and her damn age. At this point, you probably ain't far off because if the next time we see Beth, if she's not a bit older than when we saw her earlier this year, then that sound about right, which is strange.
Beth is getting ready to either be Hayes's girlfriend or because they know blood relation between Hayes and hold on, let me see, Hayes and Beth. No, ain't no blood relation between the two of them. And Kelly, Paula Kelly, gonna be her whole life like I don't want my brother anywhere near that Beth Logan. She gonna grow up to be Steffi. Like Steffi didn't really want Thomas with hope. Kelly is not gonna want her brother with Beth. So
I be turning up my nose at all this mess too, all this inner family dating. Damn that. Y'all these children need to get off the reservation.
they don't
Yeah,
have
today.
they don't have any more girls in the next generation. When you think about it, that missing generation is all little boys.
Yes, it is.
Dante is Dominique, whatever Felicia landed on to name her damn baby. He's gone. We don't see Logan. Those were all boys, and then the little ones that's in Kelly and well should be Kelly and Beth, but then that was just Kelly, Beth, Douglas, and Hayes. Like ain't no babies that ain't. You know what I mean? They're not setting us
We
up
need
as future
we
couples.
need some non-Forrester and non-Logan couples to have children, but those technically don't exist on this show. All the
Exactly.
more reason why we need Finnegans or Finnegan Associates or something. Damn.
Yes, I need Bill and Lee to have some baby. Well, no, them babies will be related to everybody too. Well, I tried. I mean, we just need to open up this pool. They got too many people of the gene pool is too close. They need to get some fresh
Mhm.
unrelated X's and Y's in there.
They
Correct.
do. They really do.
But for now, Kelly is a darling little girl, so I'm not gonna worry about her being shipped up over there with one of those boys.
We got to be
We'll
prepared.
worry about the future
Uh,
a little bit further down the line when they start
exactly. I'm
soaring
like a
into
dad right now.
teenagers.
I don't want to even
Then I'm
be
gonna be
thinking about little
unhappy.
Kelly like right now with an old man.
Because they will put her with an old ass damn man. The
You
first
know it.
they
You
will.
know it.
You know what? They
Mhm.
probably bring all of us ass back to town.
Or Carter, because Carter show was looking like Chester the molester standing up there as a groom to Paris.
Well, now that he has Quinn, he has come to his senses. He don't need to.
Thank goodness.
Perhaps.
You know.
Perhaps. Um, so yeah, Kelly definitely got her what she wanted today. She was when she didn't want Finn to go looking for Steffi, she didn't want him to leave, but she also wanted her mom there. She was like, "Why isn't mommy here?" So she has everything she wants right now. She has
Bless
her
that baby.
grandparents, her parents, and her little brother all in one little room. And
Yeah.
Kelly, of
Exactly.
course, Kelly's happy.
Her world has been set to rights after being in, chaos for the
I think
last few months.
Yeah, I think that was to me that was therapeutic as
It
a
was.
Steffi fan, and how Kelly came to be, and how Kelly always was like othered, immediately othered and not good enough. So this to me was very therapeutic to see everyone standing there agreeing that this is Kelly's family. These are the people that love Kelly unconditional. Blood be damned. So
Mhm.
it was very therapeutic for me as a viewer to have that visual of Kelly in you know what this means for her, because I keep that this reunion to me is more than just Steffi finding her
Hmm.
soulmate. It's about, to me, it's about the evolution of Steffi in general. Like, I feel like at this point, Steffi has truly stepped into the position as a true heroine,
She
because
has.
Steffi has been through everything. Steffi has been, let's say, abandoned, abused, rejected, humiliated, and dragged for a long time. And she finally has arisen to a place where she knows who she is and what she wants. And when she found what she wanted, she didn't let it go. And when it was taken, she couldn't let it go. So I just feel like this whole story, to me, it is all about the evolution of Steffi, and this part of her life just being solid now finally is just like really all she needed.
It's very therapeutic because and you're right about that because it has not been Steffi's life, not even her love life has not been easy. Not just because she loved a man who loved two women, not just because of that, but because for a very long time she could not find or she did not feel love for she did not feel the yin to find a love that was all her own, a better love. She just was okay with, I'm gonna sit this one out. I'm gonna concentrate on my career. I'm gonna focus on my baby.
Right.
I'm gonna make. I'm gonna live my best life, but I'm gonna just live it with, without a man in it because I don't need it, but also I'm not there yet. But in that's the thing that's the real kick is that it took a long, long time to get to this place with Steffi as her fan. A place where not just her life is whole because she has her babies, her career is good, and she's found a man who absolutely adores her and only her, which was something every Steffi fan in the universe wanted for her. Not just for that, but also for the fact that she finally got to that place where the better that we wanted for her, she wanted it for herself. Because you can want better for your faves from now till the cows come home. But until they actively want it and pursue it, cherish it, and refuse to let it go, it hasn't arrived yet. And for Steffi, that better has arrived because that better is all she wants now. That's all she cares about, the life with her family and with her true love, Finn. And that is freaking fantastic. It has been a long, tumultuous journey to get here. Lots of us didn't think we would ever get here, ever, that Stephanie would ever find that freedom. And oh yes, and yes, the music cues, because Maya's talking about the music cues that Casey hinted at tomorrow. The music cues are just epic. We are some John Williams shit these days.
Yes, he did tweet that the Steffi and Finn's reunion score today was an original by somebody Nordstrom or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
whoever. So I guess that's a big deal. I didn't Google the guy, but since he made that post, I guess that was a big deal. But I know that the everything was beautiful. I mean, even the music in the church when Steffi was lighting the candles, to me, that was so haunting. It really put me in that reunion mood. It
Mm-hmm.
really did. So even today, I mean, the beauty. I mean, the scenes were just visually stunning. I think the music was perfect and on time. I think that there wasn't too much going on, so we could just focus on what was going on.
Mm-hmm.
These two people that truly feel like they need each other. I mean, Steffi can't go on. She's literally deeply depressed, and according to Flavia, she don't give a damn about nothing but her kids and being with Finn. And Finn, he won't even die.
No, he won't. And oh, what he said to her today was just all couples have, especially when there's been a separation and then there's a coming back together. They all have, if you have a good script writer anyway. Actually, and I have to make a point of that. I got to go back and see who wrote this. Because if Bell wrote this shit, I'm gonna have to really leave him alone for a while.
Casey said Bell wrote it and was
Well,
still writing it as they were taping. He was still making tweaks.
well, I'm gonna have to leave that man alone, probably for like I might have to leave him all the way over until pumpkin spice season is done with.
I think that that's what he wants because that's why he kept all those bells as symbols.
I think I might actually have to leave that man alone until the end of pumpkin spice season
I think.
because hmm?
Oh, wait a minute. I thought you was finished. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say maybe he kicked around the house and found one of his daddy's old scripts somewhere and said, "Hey, maybe I can use this," because it really don't feel like something Brad would write. Like it's just so.
Straightforward.
It,
It's
yeah,
just
it,
so
It is.
forward.
exactly.
There's been no redundancies in quite some time. We haven't had any redundant or repetitive language out of it. Like they still kind of have the same conversations, but they're not using the same dialogue so much. It's opening up. And it really is like somebody else. Y'all know I've been saying for a long time, Edith Wilson has got the pen again. Um, if Brad wrote this, he needs to be doing this all of the time, all the time. They
Mhm.
Yes,
talk
sir.
about ratings and how the show tied with Young and the Restless and one of the demographics do this all the time.
Oh, we.
Oh, they actually beat
Oh,
YNR in one of the demographics and
Yes, they did.
tied in the other.
Yes. So
which
do
is
this
as it should
all
be.
the time. Like, did he just take a vacation that he's been needing for decades, or is he having an affair? He got a honey bunny that then got his creative juices flowing. Like, what is it that's making Brad write like this now? Like, we've been
I
wanting him to
don't
write
know.
like this since his daddy died.
I don't know, but whatever it is, look if he got a new spooky or something that's fooling around, then she need to stay with him. She's doing a public service to her fellow man. She just don't know it yet.
Is Cricket writing the stories behind the scenes?
If she is, bless her
Um,
heart.
That's what they
I
got
don't
Cricket
know.
doing these days is writing. Cause she the only one that ain't wrote yet. Is Cricket the Bridget Forrester of the family where she, remember when Bridget came out as Madam X, she was designing secretly? What if
I
Cricket
remember
is
that
out here
crap.
writing secretly and that's why this show is so good? That
Child.
would
And
kill
when
me, y'all. If Laura Lee is the one writing these damn scripts.
and
I
wait,
don't
and
know
this
who writing
wait,
it, but it's
but here's the thing.
definitely different.
Listen to this. Listen to this. This was the part from Steffi and Finn that I just melted into a puddle on the floor. When Steffi said everything I prayed for came true. And then Finn, because
Yep.
here's the thing. Belle has been shit at writing romantic male leads. Okay. It has been something that he has sucked at for a long time.
Yep.
But then you had Finn today saying, it was those prayers and the thought of you that willed my heart to take another beat and my
In my
lungs to
lungs to
take
take another
another
breath.
breath. The truth is, Steffi, you saved my life. It was all you. I was like, damn.
And I died. I died. I actually, that's the only one, that's the only piece of film I actually copied today to put on my phone because I absolute died. There were so many points that I was just taken out by the romance of it all. And that's why I'm saying this was, it didn't seem like Belle, but Casey said it's Belle because it was simply romantic. I mean, we didn't get one of those stupid twists that don't make no gosh darn sense out of nowhere for no gosh darn reason, just to call it a twist, think that that makes a story interesting, like that whack job Vinny storyline. This was just simply romantic. I
Yeah.
mean, Finn was freed, and then it was just now on from there, just for him to find Steffi. He had assistance from an unlikely source in Dollar Bill. Um, Finn is being accredited to be the savior that she is. Tria just there joyously awaiting for their family to reunite. And then Finn is looking for Steffi. It was so simple because the beauty of just everybody looking for Steffi was really just to showcase us the beautiful different scenery from scene to scene of Monaco with our beautiful faves that are absolutely talented. And then when they it just hit the high note for me when everything turned to this angelic heavenly tone, like Steffi being touched on the arm by that lady that says someone can help. I'm a religious person, so instantly when the lady said that, my mind automatically went to God because I'm just religious like that anyway. I came up
Mhm.
that way. But then when the church bells rang and Steffi looked toward the church bells, I was like, oh, okay. So she was talking about God, right?
Mhm.
That's what I said. So, cut to Steffi's in the church lighting the candles, and I know she's praying about Finn. Flavia just told us that there's only three things on her mind: Kelly, Hayes, and Finn. So then we hear Finn noticing the bells. I was just like, oh my God, this is heaven sent. I mean, they are being divinely reunited. I mean, oh my God, I just died, y'all. I think I've never seen a soap romance this touching and emotional.
It was
I just
beautiful.
have not. I just
And
can't stop talking about this.
not only that, but it's like what you said. This is such a departure from what we have been getting in the last couple of years, not just for Sin, but for any couple on Bold and the Beautiful, not just them. Nobody has been getting a truly, or what I perceive as a truly romantic story. The last two couples that I felt got true romance were Quarter, when they actually realized that what was going on with them was more than sex and they actually had fallen for each other. And before that was probably Wally, Sally and Wyatt. But but you just don't see cup. We just have not had luck on this show in general. Not just Steffi, but on this show in general, we have just not had good luck when it comes down to getting well written romantic scenes
Right,
for couples.
getting true romance, because this soap has been so accustomed to their romance being built around destroying other romances that it makes it
Precisely.
not romantic but kind of gross.
Yeah.
And it turns the romance into something that it's not supposed to be. Something ugly and uh just ugly. It doesn't make for romantic TV.
No, it
But this
doesn't.
did.
Because when your romance comes with collateral damage, it's like people don't really get to be in the moment of saying, "Oh, this couple found each other, they're together, etc., etc." All you sitting
It's
there is going there thinking, yeah, y'all found each other, all right, and sure, that's
because
some damn damage in the past."
right, and then you immediately cut to the scene of the person that they walked all over.
Exactly, and that has been
So
the case with a number of romances.
right, that's my. I think that's the point we making, that this was special and beautiful in a way that is different.
It was, and I hope whatever magic wand Bell waved over Sin, I hope he uses it when he's writing other couples going forward, because everybody wants to see romance on the soaps,
Right,
okay, and not just necessarily with just our couple either. They want to see that possibility there for other characters, for other pairings, and because
and surprise pairings, and
yeah.
surprise pairings. That's how we got Quarter.
Exactly. That was that way. That was just Quarter was just the dark horse of the year. Because never had it crossed my mind that they would ever even try it. But look what happened. It worked and
Look what
it worked
happened.
and it worked good. And then
It
they
worked
established
out so well
and then
that they
they
had to come. We, of course, it was more than what they expected because they had to find a way to come back to it somehow
exactly. I think somebody take a
by
look.
any means necessary.
Exactly. It's like if something work, let it work. Don't work
Play
so
into it.
hard. Yeah.
Don't
Lean into it.
exactly. That's right. Don't
If
go against the wind.
Exactly. If it's working and it's getting good fan response and people are interested or intrigued by it, well, baby, ride that wave. Ride it. See where it takes you to better ratings. Because first of all, I'm sorry. I'm about to sit up here and I'm gonna keek for a hot minute behind the fact that Y and O is that Bold is nipping at Y and O's ass because of this stupidity. Because the problem is that the ratings went up pretty much for all the soaps. Except actually no, I take that back. Ratings went up for everybody but I think GH, at least as far as total viewers are concerned. But Bold, they took a big jump, but they are right behind. They're staying right up under Y&R consistently. And the thing is, with this whole thing with Ashland Locke being a whole bust, like I want to say the gap is like, what is it, like almost 300,000 in total viewers now? And not to, and they tie in with them for the demographics and beat them in starting to beat them in it too. She.
Mm-hmm. Yep, because that's where that advertising money come from. That's really all that matters in this game.
Yes, it
This is
does.
why they spend the extra money to do these big storylines. If they can if Bold and the Beautiful consistently does what they're doing now, and I mean this is even before the Monte Carlo. We ain't talking about they got to go to Monte Carlo every
Oh
week.
no. Mm-mm.
I
The
mean, but
good
if they
writing started before
consistently,
Monte Carlo.
right, if they consistently offering different storylines on the plate, offering storylines that can just be simply good. I mean, they need to stop doing these storylines that they've made so convoluted and twist and turny that it just made no sense from the beginning, just for them to get to this stupid ending that everybody was expecting anyway. You know what I'm saying? It's like you taking a shortcut, thinking I'm not, because you don't think I'm following you. But I know exactly the route I know exactly where you were going, regardless of what route you took.
Yes, somebody. And Trevor St. John is coming over to Y&R to waste his damn time. Because if they put him with Victoria, I don't want to hear
Yep, I heard about
it.
that.
Because the thing is, I said the same thing to I said to I think to Alexander earlier. I said Y&R has gotten to the phase where Bo used to be with all this damn stunt casting that they keep doing. You keep casting these good, solid actors in these roles that could be something, but you choose to let them be nothing, and then they unceremoniously leave, and then that's just that. So see, what they got Victor Lloyd Jr. coming, so they're gonna have a whole bunch of people, especially people who used to watch One Life to Live, trot themselves over to Y&R in the fall when his scenes start airing, because I think he only just started filming from what they said. And when they do, because they want to see what they're gonna do, what they're gonna do. And then they're gonna do what the hell they did the last two times they didn't cast somebody in a role that could have been something, not a damn thing. Mm-mm-mm. So yeah, and Victoria and Nick probably are gonna kill him too if he turned out to be kin to Ashlyn. They said, "Shoot, who knows? This might be the real Ashlyn Locke, the friend who was supposed to be dead, who ain't dead." And so we have no idea what they're doing. All we know is that they didn't kill Ashlyn and threw him in the ravine and then pissed everybody off.
Did
So
y'all
them,
say Trevor St. Thomas is coming to Young and the Restless?
yes,
Trevor
man,
St. Thomas or St.
St. John,
I
St.
mean,
John.
Trevor St. John. Trevor
Yes,
St. I was
One
reading
Life to Live.
So they got Todd Manning, Victor Lord to come over here to Genoa City.
Yes, ma'am.
They're really trying to get me back to watching, but I really am
They,
not fixing to because
they
you know
really
what?
are.
They're gonna fuck it up.
Yes, they will.
How you
Absolutely.
had Joshua? They had Joshua and messed that up.
That's how I feel about it. And I was like, you know what? Normally this kind of news would make me happy, but the thing is, I got happy the last time they did casting. When they cast for Ashlyn Locke, and then when they had to recast for the role, because I was like, oh well, hell, if this messed up, then I guess they may just get rid of the role. But y'all gonna trust. But y'all over here dragging One Life to Live alumni out to come to this shit, and y'all gonna do exactly what y'all did before. Not a damn thing.
Right. That's what they just did with the last two actors.
And all they're gonna do is piss me off. And right now, I'll tell you that I know they got people on GH pissed off as hell since Frank Valentini is actually introduced the character of Victor Lord Jr. And they like all the worthless ass actors you done bragged over here, but you couldn't drag him. So Victor, so he going himself over to. Trevor going over to Y&R to be misused, but you couldn't get him over here to Port Charles. Trust me, I know people probably salty, and I can't say as I blame them.
Child.
We have a new Sam that has joined us, and for a minute I thought that was you, Sam, but this is another Sam. So hi, Sam.
Oh, hi, Sam.
No, it's me.
How
Oh,
you?
that's you?
Oh, both. Okay, girl.
Okay. Welcome.
Yeah, because I pulled it up on my laptop because I'm very excited.
Ew.
And y'all know I only pull out the old laptop for special occasions on the StreamYard.
Oh,
This
okay.
is a special occasion.
Yes,
Now,
I did. This is a very special StreamYard. So I got my laptop out, busted out so that I can also tweet in the chat room while I talk to y'all.
and things were interesting besides just what was going on in Monaco. It was beautiful, but also the happenings in LA I could see were important because I could see they were starting to set us up a little bit for whatever the next round we're supposed to get. Because I guess we should go ahead and just get it out the way and just say that I'm highly disappointed in Deacon Sharp ass this evening.
Girl, I was just ready to cuss, and then I was like, well, them people trying to tell you not to trust his ass.
I mean, it pissed me off mainly because first of all, Deacon has no reason to throw his entire life away for Sheila Carter. None. I mean, did I miss something? Did Sheila save his life or something?
Girl, no, I'm still trying to figure out why the hell he decided to still be her friend and give her refuge. And I'm really hoping when he left, he caught up with the cops and told them Sheila's up there at the house if you want to go back and get her.
Well, if Baker and them ain't at his door tomorrow knocking on it, saying coming up there to get him, then Deacon then just shot himself in the foot. and I don't just mean in a classical sense, but the thing is, he will not be tolerated in LA, and nor will he be trusted. And obviously, why would they? Because one, Hope is going to feel like she completely and totally misjudged her father. She thought when they were doing all that corresponding and stuff that her father was a changed man and that he had learned lessons. And then he turns around and do some bullshit like this, and it's like no. And actually, Hope's ass actually said the one smart thing that needed to be said in LA all day. Well, shouldn't we tell people that Sheila's still on the loose? I was like, I kind of agree with that. Y'all kind of do need to let everybody know that Sheila's not just, caught and pinned up, that she is still running out there. But I give
But,
her, I,
but that's because you know why?
what?
Because uh hang on, I heard my echo, so it made me distracted. That's because Taylor and Ridge and Steffi already think Taylor is on the loose. Remember when Taylor and Ridge left, all they were saying was, I'm glad that Steffi's in. Well, that's what Ridge was saying. I'm
Yeah,
glad that
that's was
Steffi's
here.
over here because Sheila is still on the loose. They hadn't been in Ridge hadn't been in contact, Ridge or Taylor hadn't been in contact with anybody in LA
Mm-hmm.
until today. So they still thought that Sheila was on the loose. They never knew about the exact plan that Sheila was caught. All they knew is that Finn was alive because remember, everybody left and Finn left, and Lee was still with Sheila. Nobody ever got confirmation that Sheila was in jail for them to think that she escaped again.
Well, I think what they thought, I think they assumed that because Finn was in with Bill and all this information about Lee having saved Finn, etc., had come out. I think they assumed that Sheila, and of course, when Finn said that, Sheila had him trapped, that she had been caught. They realized when Baker called them that Sheila had actually not been caught, that she had somehow managed to slip through authorities' hands again for the nth damn time. So with Brooke and them, they were obviously making the same assumption that if Finn had been quote unquote rescued, obviously the person who was trying to keep him locked up had been caught. But nope, there you go again. Because remember, Ridge was the one who told Brooke when she called that Sheila behind was still on the loose. They thought she was caught. So I mean, because I'm sorry, that Officer Hot Dog in them is looking mighty bad now by now. Because I mean, this woman keep dodging justice left and right, left and right. That's some Keystone Cop shit for sure. Woo.
Sheila just that good. She can evade the popo.
She can, but the other thing is that also even though um, even though she's really and truly, I think she's sorry for how things went down, but she's not living in reality. You could see that from when she was talking to Deacon. Her honest to goodness feelings on this is because everybody seems to make that live, then she jail time should not be on the list of things to do.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, Sheila, it don't work like that. You a menace to society in the sense of whenever she gets out of control or something gets beyond her control, she just kind of loses her shit and she goes, off the reservation and she does crazy things. And nobody's oh, go ahead.
No. I was just gonna agree. Basically, you can't tell Sheila no.
No.
That's it. So the only way Sheila is going to work in any person's life is if that person is completely willing to always say yes to them, yes to her, always let her have her way, and the more she asks for, because that's her issue. The more you give her, the more she wants. Um, there's no ever appeasing Sheila. It's impossible to do so.
Right. You give her an inch, she's gonna take a foot. If you give her a foot, she's gonna take a yard. If you give her a yard, she's gonna start taking miles. If you give her a mile, then it's over. She just gone. That's Sheila.
Exactly.
And
And it's
then she
why I
acts
have the
entitled to it. She acts absolutely entitled. Like she went to Deacon like he was going to roll out the red carpet or something. She was actually shocked that he was like, "You can't stay here. Are you crazy?" And the
I
fact
don't have anywhere else to go. I'm like, girl, who cares? Like,
okay, crazy Daisy, this is not no girl, go home.
Y'all want to know something?
hmm.
This is so weird, but I watched the show twice because y'all know I do that because I like to watch different things. But
Hmm.
I did not pay any damn attention to those Sheila and Deacon scenes today. I absolutely did not. The most I paid attention was I think yesterday when I couldn't take my eyeballs off Deacon's belly button. And I said it was because I couldn't take my eyeballs off his belly button. I don't know. I was at a weird moment, I guess. And those scenes today, I just didn't even bother to even listen and watch. I feel like I already knew what was happening and was being said, even though I haven't, because I always knew that this was going to happen. That Deacon and Sheila both were going to be Deacon and Sheila in the end. So even though I didn't watch the scenes, and I'm not even really half paying attention to y'all talking about it, I know exactly how it's gonna happen. Continue.
So yeah, so Sheila is completely out to lunch as usual. So she really feels like she shouldn't have to pay this price for what she did because at the end everything worked out. That's like somebody saying, "Well, yeah, I set your house on fire, but nobody died, right?" I mean, yeah, property damage be damned, but yeah, I ain't getting nobody killed. So it's 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 all right. It's gonna be okay. And yes, the Bubbles, you're right. She feels entitled to this assistance from people. When but and like I said, I will go down in history as saying this is the biggest what the F of why Deacon would help her at this point after everything that happened, after his daughter came to see him and said what she had to say, and about being concerned about what the hell is this? What kind of creepy ass? Okay, you know what? Somebody trying to scare me online. I'm sorry. Um, that anybody that at the end of the day he has everything to lose and absolutely nothing to gain from this. So I really do feel that yes, this is going to be Sean Keenan's exit story.
Hate that,
And
you guys. I really hate that because I feel like maybe
right.
I was the only person who had a little bit of faith and hope and Deacon. Maybe I feel like Hope is gonna feel when she finds out her daddy was out here aiding and abetting the damn escape
You're
con.
disappointed.
Like I'm so disappointed. Like I mean, I know Deacon is Deacon, but it felt like he was trying to change and be better because he wanted a better life. And then he just ended up doing what he always does.
Self-sabotage.
And I guess on some level, that's very commendable of him to help a friend in need. But at the same time, you got to consider who that friend is when you're trying to help them get out of a tight spot. And I just don't even support Taylor even finding about none of that now that he didn't sit here and
Oh no. Mm-mm.
um
No.
people we were all rooting for you, Deacon.
Yes,
I
we
can't
were.
say
We were all rooting for you. We wanted you to win. And
Bubbles,
then you
you're not
stand up
alone.
here and do this.
mhm.
Bubbles, you're not alone. Okay, there were other people on the tag who were just as disappointed. Because here's the thing: first of all, the sad fact of the matter is this: one, bold because it is a small show, it is a damn numbers game 9 times out of 10. Aside from the fact that I think a Deacon being on screen opens up better possibilities for what the show can do with Hope. Like I said, Hope ain't going nowhere. So guess what? If I gotta put up with her and deal with her on the reg, give her some story that is not her and Liam fighting over true love and who the hell he done slept with or who's cheating on who or whatever. If you're gonna make me be stuck with them, give them some story that I can at least tolerate.
Well, so
Okay.
then if you making that request, that's the same request I want for Sin. I don't want cheating storylines for Sin either.
Well, see, but that's the thing. Sin has a better shot at it because they can get stories that are not that. They just got a story that was not that. Problem is, Lope has never had a story that is not that. That has never that has always been the ones that's been the crutch that they've played for them each time and time again, and it doesn't work because usually it's at the expense of the third character who gets caught up in that drama, whether it's Steffi or whether it's Thomas. And I am
Or
tired
whether it's
of
Wyatt.
stories that are or Wyatt. I'm tired of stories that can only be told for them at the expense of other characters, which is the one reason why I was very pro Deacon, staying on the mostly straight and narrow because I think that Hope needs something else in her life other than Liam and whatever his latest flight of fancy is to give her something to do. On
Well,
top of that, if that's not bad enough, this show is a numbers game. And the fact of the matter is, we do not have a good male to female ratio on this show right now. And that's been a consistent problem for a long time. And the problem is when we have too many women and not enough men, you know what we end up with? Foolishness. Non-stop foolishness. Because they just can't help themselves. It's just too easy. Especially with the type of men that this show has.
mhm.
Because the last thing I want to see, because we don't really know how things are going to end in Monaco, but we do know everybody's going back to LA. So regular life beckons, and everybody's regular circumstance beckons. And the last thing I want to see is any more of this push pull with Bridge v Tridge. I'm not really in the mood for it because at the end of the day, if Bridge has had a change of heart, he needs to decide it's been long enough. Okay, he ditched Brooke months ago when the whole thing happened. Then he decided he was gonna move in to protect her and look after her, but supposedly he hasn't recommitted to her. So when he comes back from Monaco, everything's right in his daughter's world again. So that's not a worry that he has to have for her anymore. He's gonna have to take care of his own business and decide what the hell it is he wants to do. But I'm not gonna sit here and sanction no damn back and forth of him going back and forth between Taylor and Brooke like that. No, the time for that is gonna be then past. He's gonna
Yeah,
need to pick
that's
a
why
lane and
I'm not
stay
even.
in it.
That's why I'm not excited about Ridge being anywhere near Taylor because I see at least a whole nother 6 months of him bouncing back and forth between her and Brooke, still trying to make up his mind about what he's gonna do because that's his Logan.
And you know how that always plays out, Bubbles. And the formula's broken because the problem is when you have a man who consistently bounces back and forth and trying to pick who he wants, the end result is always the same. Eventually, the viewers don't care who he wants because they think he trash. You don't care who he picks. You don't care who he ends up with. You just want him the hell off your screen. That's why Liam's sitting over there in the corner tainted as hell. He played
Right,
that
because
game one too many times.
I don't care about Liam, and I really don't care that much about Ridge, except for when he's around Taylor. And
And
I don't
Steffi.
know and Steffi. And I really like I'm okay with him being around Steffi as long as he's supporting her life because we know at one
Mhm.
point he kind of wasn't, but I don't want him sniffing around Taylor if it's gonna be some more of this old bullshit about well, I'm still trying to figure out what I'm gonna do. My heart is in two different places. Bitch, leave your heart where it is in Humber Hills. You ain't even got to involve me in none of this. When you figure out how to make yourself happy outside of your broken ankled wife, then maybe we can talk. But I'm not gonna sit here and be a part of this back and forth bullshit. But you know more. We done already did this for 30 years. This
And
is not for a hot girl summer. I'm really not fixing to be out here with you in these streets like that.
not if he goes, especially not if something goes down between them in Italy, and then he goes back home, and then it's just kind of like, well, it happened, but what happens in Monaco stays in Monaco. Then he ain't got shit to say to me. Period. No, 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 no. You ain't gonna be sitting up here having no nothing, something that would be equated to a summertime fling with Taylor of all people, and then go back like this is Greece and she's Sandy and you're Danny. No, 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 no. So Deacon being taken out of play disappoints me on that score because having and that's the thing. Brooke is not a character who is ever going to be alone. That's just not that's not how the show sees her. The last time they made Brooke single, she ended up an alcoholic. Okay, and Quinn slapped the shit out of her for the first time, which was beautiful, by the way. But I just
It
don't
was
see.
a
I
thing of
don't think
beauty.
it really was. Okay, but I don't see them doing that again. So that means that if there is any chance or any serious thought being given to them ending Tridge in this current incarnation, and for Ridge to even try to make himself palpable enough to be paired with Taylor, there has to be somebody on the ready for them to pair Brooke with. And I'm fairly certain that is not Dollar Bill, because Bill Lee really looks like it's gonna carry the day because that's who our bold live is this Friday.
Yes, it sure is. Bill and
So
Lee this Friday.
yes, I'm very happy about that. I'm very excited about that. So it's like, well, that means Lee. So Bill has been the backstop to Ridge for a number of years to his detriment. Really, that's actually kind of that actually kind of helped ruin Bill, knowing that with the show always playing the undertone that Bill was, waiting in the wings for Brooke if her and Ridge hit a bump or they ever didn't work out. But if they're trying to seriously make something pop in the Bill Lee corridor, that's done. That
Yeah,
that
but
that
oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
oh no, go ahead.
No, you were gonna finish. Go ahead.
Okay. Well then that stuff is done. So that means that Brooke no longer has a security blanket backstop for that ego of hers if things go sideways between her and Ridge. So Deacon being on screen always would have served a decent purpose aside from his own individual relationships, friendships with other people. He would have served as a suitable backstop to where they want to throw Brooke Logan if there's a fissure in Bridge and they separate or end. But if they're doing this BS with Deacon with Sheila, and that kind of gives me the feeling that Sean Keenan is on his way out. Though I do hope to see him in Cobra Kai season 4. Um, then that now puts it back at square one of Ridge in triangle mode with Taylor and Brooke, and it being a triangle rather than a quad.
So this is why I don't get so hype up about Bill and Lee. I mean, I am interested in it, and I would love for it to happen, but I don't see it happening because Bill has been set aside for too many years to be Brooks' man in waiting. So if they give us what we want, and when I say we, I mean me. If they give me what I want, they're going to give me Tridge. And Deacon is probably going to be off screen anyway. But if they give me Tridge, you better believe that there will be a Brooke and Ridge and Bill triangle. Now, when I say triangle, it doesn't necessarily have to be a triangle from hell. But I can assure you that Brooke will find a way to make sure Bill knows how she will always feel about him. Trust and believe. So I'm not gung ho over Bill and Lee because I just don't see Bill being set free from being Brooke's man in waiting. They've done too much to keep him that way.
I disagree. They didn't do all of this mess and make him. This is the thing. They stuck Bill in a story that he absolutely had no objective reason to be the go-to person in. When they decided that they were going to make him the person who found Lee and also the person who helped rescue Finn and also the person to hand deliver Finn to Sin to Steffi in Monaco, that didn't have to be Bill. I mean, because Bill doesn't really have that type of a connection to the Finnegans and his connection to Steffi is kind of tertiary for them to have said, hey, yeah, you're the person who we're going to pick to do that. So I do feel that the whole reason that he was chosen was because I think someone on the show, if not Brad Bell, or maybe it is Brad, or maybe his, like I said, maybe his father visited him like the ghost of Christmas past and told him something about himself. I don't know. But this whole being a man in waiting thing for Brooke has ruined a good portion of who Bill is as a character, and it has made him non-parable this entire time. Ever since he and Brooke hooked up back in what was that 2014, all of his other relationships have kind of crashed and burned. And I'm not even gonna call that one night stand that him and Steffi had a relationship because that's not what that was. Have crashed and burned, and half the time they've crashed and burned is because it all loops back around back to Brooke. So I feel like they made this decision to make Bill this softer person, this nicer person, because they want to do something different with him. Because you don't have to make Bill a softer or nicer person to put him with Brooke. Brooke was fine with him when he was an asshole. When he was just 100% old school dollar bill the asshole, Brooke was quite satisfied with that because she likes all that machismo crap. She likes that condescending, commanding man of industry stuff. She digs it. She likes men who power trip. That she enjoys those type of men and has consistently for many years. So they didn't have to redo or soften Bill just to put him back with Brooke. And if that's what they were going to do with him long term, at least, long term as in to the end of this year, then they wouldn't. I don't feel they would have stuck him in the middle of Sin's reunion story and made him, the guardian angel in the wings who hand delivered Ben to Steffi after she thought he was dead. So no, I really do think that they're going to try to do something with Bill Lee because Naomi Matsuno gave an interview. I think was it in Daytime Confidential? I can't remember who it was with. But she gave a interview about the future of her character on Bold and the Beautiful. Now that I truly was happy to see because first of all, that kind of answers the question that yeah, Lee does actually have a future on this show. And of all the characters that we've had introduced in the last year, if I only had to pick two to keep and lose the rest, she's one of the ones that I absolutely want to keep and see them go forward with her character. So so the questions that they were asking were about, so of course, she couldn't really spoil anything, but basically she alluded to saying that, you got to stay tuned. There's going to be some twists and some turns. And this was kind of like in reaction to the question of what can you now expect now that Lee has been rescued by Bill Spencer. So that means they're doing something with Lee. And unfortunately, I don't know how much Jack would have to do with it because I really can't get a read on the show and what they intend for Ted King's character. I'm kind of at sea there. I know what I want, but I can't read them. But they do have intentions for Naomi's character, and I do strongly believe that those intentions are Bill Lee, and that whatever Brooke is going to be doing, if there's drama between her and between her and Ridge, that Bill is not going to be in the picture.
I think Ted King is coming back, and when he does, he's going to be Jack is going to be paired back up with Lee, and Bill is still going to be waiting on Brooke.
I don't know. I think Lee is the kind of woman who has some sort of. She's not like everybody else. We already know that.
Hey, we gonna get the tease now. He'll be a damn fool not to give us the tease. He's already given us the tease. I think it was simply just like they stumbled on Quarter. They got Bill in that scene just because they had Jack in that. Bill in that scene at the damn wedding for Paris and Carter. They put Bill in that scene because he was the actor that had the time and and was able to be put on the schedule. He also was convenient to have the jet that could take Finn over to Morocco. And when Ted King gets more time on the show, he'll be back.
Oh,
And
okay.
when he is, we will return back to Bill being one of Brooke's one true loves.
I think we may get Ted King back, but
Or I'm
like
sorry, one of Brooke's five true loves.
what I was fixing to say is that shit. Well, I'll have to start writing down what I was going to say because that thought got ripped out of my head. Oh yeah, Lee is a woman of a certain. She has standards, and we already know that she wasn't all that keen on the Foresters, and the drama that they brought into their lives. But Finn loved Sticky, so she went with it, and that's part of the reason why she didn't say anything. I think she's done with Jack because he is the reason why all of this happened. She don't have no reason to go back to Jack. Why? Because Finn is alive. That's great. But we also just went through all of this bullshit because your ass been lying for 30 some years. You couldn't tell me my drawers was dirty if I wiped my ass with shit on it. I'm sorry, Mr. Jack Finnegan. We can be friends, but I ain't never gonna let you up in near me in a personal way again because you cannot be trusted. That's 30 plus years that man had the opportunity to tell his wife he laid down with a psycho and made a baby because he told Sheila that he knew that she was unstable when he took Finn. So you knew all this whole time that this woman was unstable, just sitting out here, a little damn powder keg waiting to explode in our lives at any given fucking moment. She could have came and stole our kid. She could have came and took my baby. You wasn't really never concerned about none of that. Oh, now you sorry because the psycho shot our son and his wife. You know what? Get the fuck out of my life. I don't ever want to see you again. It's a million bridges in this country. Find one to jump off of. That would be me if I was Lee Finnegan. Jack Finnegan could not get the time of day from me. I'll be cordial with you if I have to, but sir, we're done. And when I say I'm through, I'm through. And basically, I'm through with you. You had to play games and you had to have it your way. Now what? Now you want me to stay? There you go, looking beautiful. No, sir. Take your ass. So you know what? Brooke need another man in her stable. Go on over there and get Loganized. We good over here. I'll sit on this couch at Steffi's house for the next 5 years and fold clothes. I'm good.
Not
Finally, there's no place for Jack in her life.
not really.
I'm probably the only person that's happy that he is not a part of the storyline because why should he be? Because he's sorry like Sheila. He and Sheila are pretty much equals as far as I'm concerned. You sorry now? You sorry now. Okay, you sorry. Well, go home and be sorry by yourself because you can't be sorry over here with me. I'm the only person that has the space to be sorry because I've been lied to for 30 plus years. I've had my child almost ripped out of my life. No, sir. No. You can come see the grandbabies anytime you want to, but you can't even look my way no more. No, you can look and see what you lost, but don't ever think that this boomerang is coming back around because that shit got broken mid-air. Nope. He don't need to be there. He don't need to be there. He can come back. Maybe he can go be with Katie. But I don't feel like they're gonna sit there and take Bill Spencer and have him eating at the damn wharf. At a wharf, you guys, where a place where you eat with your
totally out of her. Totally out of her.
Bill Spencer eating at a place where you would eat with your fingers. They're not gonna go out their way to put him in a spot where he's gonna be eating with his damn fingers for nothing. He might end up back in Brooks' orbit at some point in time, but right now we know that Lee Finnegan has a room at his house.
We do know that.
Yeah.
We know she got
We do
changes
know
and
that.
clothes at his house because he got her clothes from somewhere. He done Daryl handed her ass just like in Splash. He done found this woman down on the pier. Made self home and washed her up and put her in some clean clothes and was bringing her out for the free. Look at this woman I found out here, y'all, on the pier. I washed her up and brought her home and gave her a room. Look at it. And it took Liam to tell him, no, I think that they're going to be something for a minute. She might be the woman to make him snap too, considering that he's having this epiphany that he needs to be a better person who helps people. And he wants to be a person who helps people with his own bare hands. He doesn't want to throw money anymore.
Exactly. And the
He
other
wants to
thing,
be a part of this with his own. Let me show you how he said this. Hold on, let me turn my camera. He said, with my own two hands, with these hands, I want to help people with these hands. These hands, Liam, I can give money. Anybody can throw money. I want to use these hands. These hands. And so that's what he's trying to do with Lee. He's trying to use them hands. He gonna use them hands too, girl.
Right. We got
I'm
SP
saying,
Writer and Vicky in the YouTube.
what?
We got
Yeah,
SP Writer and Vicky in the YouTube.
Oh, hey, SB Ryder and Vicky. Did you say Vicky? Hey, Vicky.
Yeah, Vicky.
Yes, and we do have a bowl live on this Friday coming up, and they ain't told us who it is. Oh, you said it's gonna be Bill and Lee.
it's Bill, yeah, it's Bill
Bill
and
and
Lee.
Lee.
Girl, were you sleeping when I said that?
Girl, you know I be doing 6 different things when I be doing this. Do you know everything in the world is popping off right now? Like
Yes.
seeing this back together. Esme over the damn parapet. Alabama is #1. This white lady getting dragged for saying how come Beyonce got 24 writers on one song. It's a
And she came for Gordon Ramsay too. I'm like, girl,
and she came for Gordon Ramsay.
you pick your fights with everybody. You need to sit down.
I think they need to take your whatever meds you missed today. You need to double up on that shit tomorrow because you came for 2 people that you probably should have just drank your milk this morning and went back to bed or something. Because if that beehive didn't tell you what the meatitarians did, I know the meatitarians got in her ass because I was looking for my picture. Y'all know I'm a goofball. I love meat. When I go to the grocery store to buy lamb chops, I take my little lamb chop doll with me. I have like a lamb chop hand puppet. And we go to the meat section and we have like a photo shoot. And I put my little lamb chop in the lamb section and we take pictures. And then when I bring it home, like there's a whole photo shoot of me cooking lamb and lamb chop is helping. It's like she has her own little cooking show. And I was looking for those pictures of lamb chop to ask her if that was more suitable if the lamb picked itself.
Well, I ain't mad at Gordon for going to pick his own meat that he gonna fry up. I mean, damn, what the hell?
Girl, that's hot to me. But Gordon be out there. Do you watch his shows? He has a lot of shows.
Yeah, he does. He does. I watch most of the cooking competitive shows.
I ain't even talking about that. I'm talking about his real world shows where he be out there in the wild hunting and shit. That's why his wife stay pregnant, okay? Tamara gonna keep a baby in her because when I be watching Gordon out here in this wilderness and he be hunting animals and then he field dresses that shit and then cooks it and goes out here and picks up some poke salad or whatever kind of greens he can find growing and makes a whole damn gourmet meal out of some shit he found in the wilderness, that's the man you want to marry. Every woman should be looking for a man who can feed her with no money at all. And I'm not talking about begging broke for shit. I'm talking about he gonna go out here in the woods and come back with some deer steak. If you broke, you better at least know how to hunt because that right there will get me before you going anywhere else to do anything. You go field dress a deer and bring me back his hide. We get married tomorrow. I'm gonna be like Carter. I got to marry you right now. We gotta find a notary. We gotta get married right now. You can field dress a damn deer. You can dry it out
because he a provider, like a real provider.
You just sat here and made me a leather jacket out of the damn skin that you took off the deer, sir. We are getting married right now. I'm calling the notary is on the way. That's the kind of man you want in your life. So this woman getting all in her drawers because Gordon is out here like he killed it and he ate it. And I bet you he used every damn part of that deer because like I said, I've watched his like real world shows outside of the kitchen. He doesn't waste anything. So for anybody to be complaining about Gordon Ramsay, like if you eat meat and you're complaining about somebody killing an animal and cooking it, where the hell do you think meat comes from before it gets to the grocery store?
Mm-hmm.
It's weird. That That person just looked like they wanted to start some shit, and they just picked two fandoms to just go run at. And well, if that's what they was looking for, then they found it.
Hold on a second. SB Ryder says deer meat doesn't taste good. You may want to rethink this. Ma'am, let me tell you something about deer meat. That tells me that if you cooking it, you don't know how to cook it. Or if somebody else is cooking it, they don't know how to cook it. Because deer is wild, just like any game. You have to prepare properly to get the gaminess out of it. I've been eating deer meat since I can't even tell you, 6 years old. Like when I say we hunt and go get, my cousin's daddy would hunt and go get, and we would have deer steaks and deer sausage. And then you can say to me that's gonna tear me against deer meat, honey. I've been looking for baby since before the movie was made, and I ain't even that old.
You ain't missing nothing.
You will never get me off of some venison. We have deer that was playing across the street in my neighbor's yard. I was like, y'all keep y'all little asses on out there till October, November comes, and let's see who gonna be frolicking when it's deer hunting season. If you delivering yourself to my house, I feel obligated to shoot you and put you in my freezer. I'm just gonna leave you in the yard.
So listen.
It's too gamey if you're not making it right, SB Ryder. I promise you. You probably ain't from the South. That's why yours ain't coming out right. But that's okay. We're gonna get you down here and get you some real game, some real deer. It's not gonna be gamey. Go on, Sam. I think you was fixing to say something. Or Dara.
I think I forgot, just like you did just now. But I'm gonna remember. Oh yeah, I remember. Steffi and Lee. Steffi is not happy with Lee about keeping Finn's death a secret.
Not surprised about that. Can't say it's a blamer. That's a conversation that they have to have.
Yeah.
And that right there divided Twitter. Actually, when Lee started when Finn was revealed to be alive, when Lee was keeping him, and she started making those remarks about the Forresters and their issues and their baggage, that really divided Twitter because, of course, in my opinion, Lee is the hero. She saved Finn's life.
And there
would be no Finn reunion without Lee.
That's pretty much what Finn said too, that it was his mom. Not the crazy one.
Right.
But his mama.
Right, exactly. He's crediting Lee for saving his life, but condemning Sheila, of course, for holding him hostage.
And did you hear his language today? He pretty much confirmed for Steffi that he will never be going down this road with Sheila ever again.
Yeah,
he despises her. He despises her now. Whereas before he was willing to give her a chance. He despises her for everything that she did to them. She can never, ever, ever approach him about jack or shit ever again. So if he does re-enter their lives, it'll be to steal Hayes because Finn told her to her face that he don't want nothing to do with her. And now he's assured Steffi that 100% Sheila will never, ever be something you'll have to worry about again because I hate that bitch.
Right. And that's right. She's out of our life and she never should have been in it. He's not, he means that. He's like, no.
One thing about it, Finn is serious about his wife and his mama.
Yeah, he was like, that bitch is crazy, and maybe if I had just listened to you before, we never would have made it here, but that's okay. I despise her for everything that she did to us. Sheila can't even go to prison and beg Finn to come see her in the lockup, and if he does, his only reason would be to go to tell her, don't ever contact me and my family ever again. Don't ever come near us. If I didn't make this clear before when I escaped out that room, let me make it clear for you now. Do not ever call me, my wife, my mama, my raggedy ass daddy. I don't want to have nothing to do with you. We are done. And that's it for him. Like, I feel like when Sheila comes back in the future, she's really going to have to fight Finn if she's coming back to try to take his kid.
That's right.
And, and that's what I wanted to say. When Bubbles was saying about why Jack and Lee are not just done, but done, on top of it, if all that other stuff wasn't enough, now Lee has had to face Sheila's craziness 100% herself. And she's seen being that crazy. And in the back of her head, I know damn well, aside from her being terrified and worried about her son, the thought did occur to her, how the hell did my husband fuck around with this?
Right. That's what I would be thinking. This is what you cheated on me with. You
Boy,
our lives together for this crazy bitch. Oh, motherfucker, well, you can't never talk to me again.
and now she done threw my ass in a body of water and almost killed me. Oh no, that reunion. Yeah, they're not. I don't know what's gonna happen when they see each other, what they're gonna say to each other. I think that for all good measure, because they're happy that they have not lost their son, I think that they will agree most likely to keep things amicable so as to not make things messy because they're happy they still have their kid. But I don't see Lee being worried about trying to be with Jack, and for good cause, because I'm sorry, there's some things that you just can't get past. Just like I don't think Katie will ever truly ever get past Bill sleeping with Brooke. I don't think Lee is ever gonna get past all this drama that she done been through in her lifetime because her husband decided to pick a side bitch who was one apple short of a dozen.
And you know what would be good?
It's for Jack to walk in on Lee in the bed with Bill.
I would love a Bill, Jack, and Lee triangle.
I'm down for that. I'm down to see him for begging back on Lee, and Lee saying, I've moved on and I'm happy here living in this house with Bill Spencer where he gave me my own room and he's been a perfect gentleman and hasn't acted untowards to me. He really came through in the clutch for me when I needed him and when Ben needed him. And we just don't have the space in our lives for you anymore, Jack. We can be friends, but that's the end. Go find Sheila. Maybe she's looking for a conjugal visit or something. Mike's all locked up, so it won't be him. So since you've already been down that road, why don't you just go take another trip? Because we are done, sir. And then he just chased her while she's being fabulous out here trying to decide if she really wants to combine herself with Bill Spencer, because she's read about Brooke too, and she's not a stupid woman. I think we'll see her very carefully if she does get romantically involved with anybody. I don't think she's going to be one of these things where she's just jumping to hop into a new relationship. I think she's going to really struggle with it because she was married to this man for 30-something years.
And they still do share Finn.
And they still do share Finn and every other wonderful memory that they've had up until the point where Sheila showed up at that wedding. So it's not like it's just something that she's going to let go of immediately. We know women on this show seem to like to hang on and linger to men longer than they should. So she probably will get weak and taken back after all because he is Jack's father and, good memories. She still got a place in her heart for him. But I think that she's going to have to get to a point where she's ready to do that. She's not just going to be up like, okay, Sheila's gone now. We can go back to normal. She's going to be more like, Sheila's gone now. We need to start talking about regaining trust.
Because but YouTube over here seems to think that Brooke still has feelings for Bill and that we probably is going towards a grill.
Well, Brooke does. She's right. Brooke still hasn't gotten over. Brooke, no man gets over Brooke Logan, and Brooke Logan don't never get over any man that she's been with, because I bet you if they had written the story differently where Deacon did drop the dime on Sheila and turn her over to the cops, and Hope had a posted of my daddy, the hero picture, Brooke would be looking at Deacon very differently. That little sly kitty cat grin that she likes to give off the side of her face, she'd be looking at Deacon again, talking about, okay, well, it's been over 30 years. Maybe I can again. Like she does that with every man. If Nick was to come back, she would sit there conflicted about, well, I have to go say hello to Nick again. Like she can't stay away from any man she's ever been with. You saw her sitting up in there holding hands with Eric like they still working on their family. That's just Brooke. She ain't never going to be over any man that she's been with. That's part of how she keeps them. Because if you ain't interested in them, after a while, they going to give up. If she wasn't giving them some kind of heat back, they wouldn't be replying to all this smoke. Just like when Bill was sitting up in that cabin kissing on her. well, Bill, I'm with Ridge now. I mean, I'm gonna always love you. That's not what you say to somebody when you don't want them to hang around you like that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna
Exactly.
have feelings for you. We're gonna always share something. No, you gotta
That
have,
is what's going to happen when Bill and Lee get close.
yeah, because Katie don't care no more. And
Exactly.
and
And do started that whole situation. Not that I
and
blame him.
if Ridge over here making close with Taylor, yeah, Brooke is going now. I can see her going over there to do it to make Ridge jealous because Ridge hasn't recommitted himself yet. That bothers me.
That
That
he moved back in like
bothers
that and they're still in limbo, yes. I find that kind of, how do I put it?
stupid.
It's stupid, but also I can't believe I'm gonna say this. It's stupid, but it's also majorly game. It's game playing. That's what it feels like to me. It feels like a married man playing a game with his wife.
Right, because I don't understand how if we back together, we done reconcile. What is the recommitment about? Is that just the sex, really? Is that really just them having sex? That's the
Y'all acting like y'all don't know. Ridge basically went back home because she had a broken ankle.
yes, I know that, but I'm still trying to suss out the recommitted part.
Precisely. Because this is the thing,
He's not
all her broken.
basically what he's saying is that he's there and he's living in there, but nothing's changed other than where he lives. That's what that
Nope,
means.
nope, 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 Sam, you're wrong. Why do I say you're wrong about this? Because he is laying on the couch, cuddling, kissing up, and being intimate with her. They may not be having sex, but yeah, he's not acting like he's a live-in bodyguard.
That's true.
So,
You know what?
I
But
mean,
that's exactly what
so,
he does with Taylor too.
but, and that's why I'm like, he a mess. Because if if he hasn't put his ring back on and he hasn't quote unquote recommitted to his wife, and he's home back in Beverly Hills because he wants to make sure she's protected from Sheila because she's got a busted ankle and the nut is on the way. What that got to do with you being laid up on the couch with her being, I'm so happy to be back. I missed you. No. That's not what bodyguards do. That's what I mean when I say this is too much game playing between a couple that's actually supposed to still be married.
Yeah, this is supposed to be the destiny couple.
Yeah, and that Destiny is boring as fuck right now because they
Yes,
ain't
it
doing
is.
nothing but sitting around talking about how they're so glad he's back home, but they ain't doing nothing.
It's weird. It's weird, and I don't. And
They don't need to be doing nothing. They're not doing nothing because it's cringy.
it and all, but here's the thing: is that I'm glad that that we've gotten to the the beautiful sin reunion part of the story because now I need my questions answered. I need to know exactly what's going to happen between Tridge while they're in Monaco, and I need to know if it's anything worth paying attention to, of whether or not it's going to be a situation when they get back to LA. Because
I'm
no, I'm
glad you
not.
brought that up.
What?
I'm glad you brought that up. Casey said in one of his tweets today that there's going to be a classic Golden Beautiful music cue that's played tomorrow's episode. I believe that's going to be something to do with Tridge and not Sin.
Mm-hmm.
Sin got a brand new score today. They don't have any classic music. Sin doesn't have any classic music.
Mm-hmm.
What other couple has What other couple is a classic on Bold?
Well, the only one in a position to get him a classic music cue right now is Tridge. They're the only
Exactly.
ones who. They're the only classic couple who's together.
And that's what I have been saying this whole time is that one of these days in Monaco, we have to have a big Tridge romantic moment. I
Well,
believe
we
it's
knew
happening
something was
tomorrow,
coming
and
between
we're
them.
going to get an old school Tridge classic music cue. There's somebody going to have to dig around and find a YouTube clip to what it go with because I'm not going to remember. Tridge is having a big moment tomorrow, in my opinion.
But we knew that was coming. We knew it.
Oh, okay.
Because they told us that they were going to have some kind of something, and then Steffi is teasing Taylor about the energy that she felt between them. So we know something is coming with them. I just don't want the something to be six. I'm okay
No, I
if
I
think
it's
think
it's
that
kissing.
I
her,
think the
but
spoilers actually, you're right. The spoilers actually already did say that they're going to kiss.
yeah. So I'm okay with the
Okay.
kiss, but I don't want him inserting parts of his body into parts of her body just so when they get back to
Not while you're
LA,
married.
he can tell her that him putting parts of his body and parts of her body was a mistake. It shouldn't have happened because
Right.
he's with Brooke and he knew
Oh, it
that.
was a misunderstanding.
Right, it was a misunderstanding. Um, I never should have led you on like that. Like I do not want to see Taylor
Mm-mm.
dropping tears over this Buster.
Like
I
all this
don't want
bullshit.
to see that. I don't want Taylor sitting somewhere at Steffi's house. I don't want Steffi and Finn to become the counselors. And Taylor's at their house all the time, with tears in her eyes because Ridge has yet again said one thing and done something else. I want her to be the one like, girl, fuck your daddy. I'm fixing to go out here on the town tonight and see if I can't find something for tonight. And then when he's ready to come to his senses, I might be ready to listen. But for right now, I am young, hot, and gorgeous, and I'm fixing to go have a good time. I'm not gonna be sitting here on this couch whining to you and your husband about, ooh, Ridge, then kiss me and put parts of his body and parts of my body and go on back to Brooke again. I don't want to see that no more.
Mm-mm. No, first of all, it's past time for them to not be doing that because their kids are adults at this point. So it's long past time for that kind of game plan to be over. And two, Ridge, if he wants to be with Brooke, he can be with Brooke. If he wants to be with Taylor, he can be with Taylor. But the thing is, unless Bold and the Beautiful is about to be converted over to a show where everybody decides to take up Mormonism, he can't have two wives. It's not happening. It's not in the cards. He can't have it, so he can't behave like he has two wives because right now, and the worst part is it's gonna put me in a position to actually have to agree with Brooke, which is gonna get on my nerves. If whatever happens in Monaco isn't significant enough for him to say, hey, maybe my marriage is not the right choice for me, maybe the thrill is gone or whatever the hell it is, and for him to end it, then him trying to straddle the fence between Brooke and Taylor is going to be even more unfeasible because one, he has now moved back home with Brooke. Not that even with Sheila still on the loose, they ain't about to he can't very even if they catch Sheila or Sheila leaves town, he can't very well say, well, I'm here just to look after you now that your busted ass ankle is cured, but Sheila's still on the loose. And the second side of that is this is that at the end of the day, he's not going to have the same kind of issues that have been persistent in the last few months that he has now. Because, of course, not to say this in a mean way, even though I think Ridge is an asshole, obviously he has been very concerned about his child. He's been concerned about Steffi, about her depression, about whether or not she could ever move past what had happened to her husband and the tragedy of losing him and her kids not having a dad and everything that went with it. But aside a side shoot to that, an unexpected or an unanticipated benefit to that was that all of that drama meant that he had a very valid reason to spend a lot of time with Taylor, way more than he normally would have been spending with her because they had all this turmoil. Well, that turmoil has just been resolved. So when they get back to LA, Ridge is not that Ridge and Taylor can't see each other, but Ridge is not going to have any excuse to be up in Taylor's space 24/7 like he has been once Steffi settled back home with her husband and he's still living in Beverly Hills with Brooke. He's not going to be able to do that. He's not going to be in her face 24/7 saying, well, we're worried about Steffi. We have to talk. No, you don't have to worry about Steffi. You don't have to talk about Steffi. Steffi right over there in Malibu. Go see Steffi if you're worried about it. If you want to talk to her, if you want to play with your grandkids. He's not going to have that reason to be as enmeshed with Taylor as he has been the last couple of months. So he gonna have to figure out what the hell he wants.
Well,
We
I
already know
just
what we
hope
want.
that Taylor doesn't give him a whole lot of free line to do whatever he wants to do as far as her feelings are concerned.
Well,
Um,
she.
I,
Oh, go ahead.
I need her to throw down the gauntlet the same way that Steffi did when she gave Liam over to Hope. Listen, this has been a fun 10 years of shit,
Mhm.
but I need more out of my life. And I'm done. So you know what? I'm gonna be the one to remove myself from this triangle. Y'all go forth and prosper, be great, do whatever it is you're gonna do. But I'm just not here for this anymore. I'm gonna go over here and fold my grandbaby's clothes, like I said I was gonna do before. But I'm not gonna sit here and be the person that you bounce back to because your wife hurt your feelings or what the fuck ever you feel like you're going through. I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna go on over here and fold these clothes in Malibu. Deuces.
Yeah, well, that's not going to happen because
I know.
Thomas and Douglas's thing is going to bring Taylor and Ridge even closer together. And the uglier it gets, the worse it's going to be on Brooke and Ridge.
And I know it's not gonna be no different. I know that we can't have nice things. We got Steffi. That's the only nice thing that we gonna get is our seeing reunion. That's the one nice thing we get. And he said, "Don't ask him for shit else."
I'm not. I'm going to keep asking. I'm going to keep asking for Ridge because that's
He
what I.
said, "Don't ask him for shit else, Sam. He done gave y'all this Sam reunion, this 4 months love story that he done told with these sweeping, beautiful shots of Monaco and everybody looking like Tillamook on the Ritz." He said, "Brad Bell and rung the bells," and he done said, "Listen."
Oh, he rang the bells.
He rang them bells for Steffi and Finn at that church. He said, "Don't y'all ask me for shit else because I done gave you this one. You better let this last you for the next 10 years because I'm not doing nothing else. I got out the bed for this." He got up out the bed and actually wrote that storyline, y'all, because they said Brad wrote it. So he got his ass up out the bed every morning and wrote that story. And he said, "Don't ask for nothing else because he ain't got it in him right now. It's going to take us another 10 years. So we can't have nothing nice. I will sit here and watch Taylor waste tears over Ridge until they write in a man who will be her Finn. A man who only has eyes for Taylor and who loves her and puts her on a pedestal and considers her grown ass children to be his children too. Where the hell is Pierce? He wanted them babies before they was even born. I digress.
Exactly. The happiness just skipped over a whole generation.
I digress. Because it just makes me angry that we got to sit here
And watch boring Ridge.
Right.
Boring.
With boring Brooke and then having exciting scenes with Taylor only to leave her crying and crumbling. I don't want to see that no more.
But see, that's what they did to me as a Steffi fan. I just got so tired of seeing that narrative of my favorite character being just left for trash. It just got so depressing. It's just like they're going to learn that. I thought they just learned after seeing what happened with Steffi that they can't do that. They do need to come on and bring in that love interest for Taylor sooner rather than later.
I swear, when I look at Trig at this point, you know what they remind me of? They remind me of how Brenda Barrett used to talk about her relationship with Sonny. When she used to say, "He always leaves me crying in the rain." That's Ridge and Taylor at this point. 9 times out of 10, he will leave Taylor crying in the rain, usually for Brooke. And yeah, you're right, Sam. I at this point, if they're not going to invest in Tridge and let it be what it really is supposed to be, and not just this foil to create tension in Bridge World, then yes, they need to go ahead and just write Taylor a new love interest. Get Pierce Peterson ass back on contract, even if Paul Satterfield is an actor, and it's a recast. We accept those. We take those.
We sure do. I mean, I love what I see between Taylor and Ridge on screen now. if they do not make a mistake and cross the line physically and have Ridge sexually using Taylor like they was doing Steffi, if they don't do that and they just keep them as co-parents and good friends and cute together, I'll take him and Taylor being friends in family without sex and romance, as long as there is someone else cast for her sex and romance.
I can live with that. I mean, I don't have a problem with Tridge being friends with each other. Okay, that I have no issues with whatsoever. Tridge can be friends. They can be best friends. I don't give a shit. I just don't. Yeah, I'm just with Bubbles on this one. I don't want Taylor being treated like she's angst for Bridge
Right.
because
No,
that's
we deserve better than
ridiculous.
and we got a brand new actress. We just want to see, just like we've been talking about, our favorites in good stories. That's it.
Exactly.
And at
And
the end of the day, that's really what it is about for Taylor as well.
pretty much. And the thing is, they've seen what they can get if they deliver on quality stories for everybody.
Mhm.
The ratings have been consistently good. They were fantastic for the week before the reunion. So
I can't wait until that sex scene tomorrow. We gonna get our sex scene,
Girl,
sex
listen.
scene tomorrow.
We almost got the seeing sex scene today because Finn
y'all
was like,
heard
"I just want to touch you.
he
Can we just be together right now?" And he was moving towards her, and the babies came in. I was like, "Slow it down, buddy. The kids are here." But when
Yeah.
he said that, I
I
was like,
want to be as
"Oh,
close
you
to
can
you
say
as
nothing."
possible. I was like, ooh.
Oh, as close as possible. That's what I said. You know what it reminded me of, ladies? I know we've all seen the movie Getting Back with Sarah Marshall, and Aldous Snow was dating Sarah Marshall. Remember?
Mhm.
Oh no, hell, I'm doing the wrong one. It's Get Him to the Greek. Still Aldous Snow, and the song that he was singing was Inside You.
Yes, girl, I love that movie. Let me tell you what, every song in that movie is inappropriate. But
And hilarious.
that African child song.
And Ring Around My Posy.
Yes, oh my God. Let me tell you, I fell in love with Russell Brand before those movies came out. But after I watched Saving Sarah Marshall and Get
And
Him
Get
to
Him
the
to the
Greek,
Greek.
girl, you can't tell me nothing about Russell Brand.
And
That
his
motherfucker
comedy.
is funny. And
Yes.
the dances when he was thrusting his,
Yes, Auntie.
I was
I
like,
cannot.
oh my
I cannot. I
God.
mean, yes, that's what I was seeing Finn today when Finn was on that sofa talking about I just want to hold you.
I just want to
Let's
hold
just
you.
be together, and then I want to be as close to you as I possibly can. All I was thinking about, girl, he trying to be inside you.
Right. He
Pretty
trying
much. I
to,
was like, damn, boy, all right. He's back. He's back. He's churning up in the
he
room.
was trying to get in her skin. And then here come the babies. I was like, oh, daddy, put it away. The
Oh
babies.
goodness,
The babies.
it's a good. I thought they was gonna bust it right open right there too. Good thing that the door rang, but I think that was by intention to show that Finn is ret. And when I say ret, I don't mean ready to go. He ret to go. Okay,
Yes.
he is ret.
Yes. Yes, honey.
Listen,
He was probably wrecked, but he was wrecked when he saw her at the damn church.
okay,
He
I have
was
to
he
agree.
was he was wrecked when he got off of Bill's plane. Okay, that man been wrecked for his wife. And when he sat there and saw her looking all creamy, delicious, and smooth, he was like, can we just be together right now?
Exactly.
Let me
Okay.
know. I'm surprised you should have just gone like that though when you came in, sir. But he was ready to get that work in.
Yes.
Amelia's
Yes.
gonna be Amelia and Trish gonna be watching them churn all night. Be like, you know what? This reunion mess. I'm so happy to be back with my family. But y'all need to get the hell out of here. I'll see y'all at breakfast.
But see, Ridge already knew what time it was. Ridge had to kind of basically push Taylor out the door from taking pictures.
He was like, I just want to take a picture. He like, yeah, let's go. Come on. Look, I'm not trying to stick around for this. I know what time it is.
That's right. And listen, Amaya did say she think that the classic Q is going to be some classic Q that I guess is attributed to a soulmate song. I don't know who determined it was a soulmate song or not, but um, she seems to think it's going to be for Sin tomorrow. I think it's Tridge, but if they want to bring out some classic love making scene theme music, I wanted to produce some Cinnabons, twin boys.
It's a little early.
Hell
I
to
think
no.
it's still
No, because
no,
Jackie gonna be telling us by December, January. She
that's
praying
that's what I
again.
mean. I think because they know Jackie has her own reproductive plan, Bell might pump the brakes on trying to pin a pregnancy for her because he knows that her and Elon have the factory open. And remember, we kind of ended up in kind of that odd situation before because they gave her pregnancy they gave Steffi a pregnancy with Kelly, and then right after she had that baby, she got pregnant in real life with Rise. So he may be like, you know what? Let me know if y'all got any more babies coming before I try to even think about pinning any more pregnancies because we may need to. If you're gonna be pregnant for real, you know what? It's just I'm gonna just try to make my job easier.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He practically know, just like we know, that Jackie finna have another baby. They finna use whatever that love making cue is, and they can drag it out for as long as whatever. Because we know in real time it take 9 months to make a baby. They do it in half amount of time. They can get up together a 4 or 5 month storyline before Jackie's maternity to do a baby scene. They know it's coming. They know it.
Maybe, but also
Don't
it
know.
also depends on if they decide if they want any other characters to have it. Because here's the thing: as much as I love the fact that Finn and Steffi are definitely first class characters to have a baby, the thing is, the entire show's future cannot just be their children.
Hey, listen, that's fine. We don't see most of the children that's on screen right now anyway. It wouldn't that wouldn't even be the issue. But I do want Stephanie to have more kids with Finn.
I think
Stephanie
she
and
will.
Finn both want a lot of kids. I don't know why we waiting.
Well, her grandmama had 5 kids and her mama had 3. So if she lands somewhere in the middle of 3 and 5, I'm good. Those are the only Foresters that have lots of kids. Stephanie had
Yeah,
5 kids. Ridge has a whole. I lost count. Ridge has got what, 2 boys and 4 girls, 3 girls, 2 boys and 3, something like that. I don't know.
yeah. He
Um,
Two boys, two girls.
said,
two
yeah,
boys and
the
2 girls.
2 boys, 2 girls.
So he got Stephanie got 4. Stephanie had 5. Ridge had 4. Stephanie might get out with 3 or 5. Either way, I don't care. She has twins. That would be great.
That would be 4.
I'd be fine with that either way. I
Mm-hmm.
would like for little Miss Kelly to have another little bitty girl in her life that she could grow up with. But I guess we got to be stuck with the Shed sister. Um, if they ever let her grow up, since they trying to keep her at Hayes's age range, but we know better. But yeah, I see that for her. I see that. And maybe she might take a year off before, but she also seems like the kind of person that wants to get all the kids out of the way as soon as possible. So they don't have no surprise babies in 10, 15 years when they trying to get everybody off to college. We're not starting over when we get these kids out the house. We're not trying to start over. So maybe they trying to get everything out the way now. I don't know. It's 8:38. Let us give some time to GH because, honey,
Yeah.
so many things happened today that made me excited. Them looking for Esme and Ava talking about she survived falling off the parapet, so she ain't really. She believes that Esme could
She's
still.
not wrong. No, Valentine threw her ass off, but she lived to tell the tale.
Right. She told Nicholas, I mean, look, I'm standing right here in front of you, so I know people can survive it. But what if this bitch survives it and start telling people that I tried to kill her? Because the Nicholas came in there running like the staff said they can hear y'all fighting all through the house. Girl, Esme fixing to set Ava up for murder. Now, I read somewhere today that Felicia was supposed to be Esme's mama, but because Christina Wagner's son died, and she wasn't on hand she couldn't be there for the taping, and they weren't gonna hold up the story. So they changed the storyline, and now Esme is supposed to be related to Ava.
Stop it.
Which to me makes more sense anyway, because Esme keeps rubbing in her face
about
that
Kiki.
she's already fucked up with Kiki and the other baby that Carly is raising, and she trying to make up for being a bad mama by being so obsessed with Trina. Like she just keeps turning that knife and digging that. And I said that when she started, at first at the beginning, I thought there's got to be something there to make Esme not like Ava like this. And it's more than just because Nicholas don't like his stepmama. This is before they changed to make Ava her mama. I just always thought that made sense for Ava to either be her mother or her aunt, because Ava doesn't have any more immediate family except for her daughter. And that little girl is being raised by Carly, not even Sonny anymore. She's being raised by Carly, and Sonny gets visitation. So she don't got no immediate family. Having her have all of this hatred and angst with Avery Pohl is the actress, Esme. She even said it today. Everybody knows how much I hate Esme. She hates Esme. It's palpable. You can see it even if they don't never say nothing to each other. The electricity in the room between the two of them, they are the same, which is why they fight, because two magnets on the same pole will reject each other. And those are two magnets on the same pole, and they reject each other. So I think it's delicious that they're going to make her Ava's daughter. And I know we've had already lost child being found with Willow and Nina, but I don't care about Willow and Nina right now. They storyline ain't got nothing on Ava and Esme hating each other.
Well, see, that's the thing. So that means that Kevin, excuse me, not Kevin. That means that Ryan is full of shit, because if Ava is actually Esme's mother, then then Ryan can't be her father. Not really.
I mean, I don't know about all that back history, but I do know that he told Esme that he knew who her mama was, and that him and her mother shared something very special. And the way that he was talking about her is the way that he was talking about Ava at one time. And I'm like, man, this show does sound like he talking about Ava. He's sitting here talking to but we know that Ava never had any feelings for him, but that was part of his obsession with her, is that he thought that Ava loved him and had feelings, but because of whatever, she wasn't able to reciprocate. No, sir, you're crazy. That's why she don't reciprocate.
And you killed her damn daughter on top of it.
Right. So I just felt like the language was coming in for them to make Esme blood related to Ava, because Ava needs family, and this little girl she hates. Now that's a whole twist. I just threw my damn niece off the parapet. You know, Bill Spencer threw Caroline off the balcony, and her entire personality changed after that.
Yeah, after she got bounced off that balcony. I mean, because she used to be, sweet and nice. But then once she got bounced off that balcony, she became, kind of snooty, a bit classist and elitist. She looked down on stuff, on people, and on establishments. And she was just like, I'm a Spencer, Rick. You're a Forrester. We're those people. So why are you acting like this?
Yeah.
She literally was a case of, oh, I don't deal with the pores, dear.
Right. So I think what would be great for Esme is if she came back with amnesia, legitimate amnesia, and they're afraid that she's pulling their leg. So they keep her close because it's Esme and she has these secrets. And then her memory just comes back to her, because maybe like Steffi, she's got that 24-hour amnesia. But she keeps playing that she has the amnesia because now she has everybody where she wants them. Um, but I want her to come back pregnant too. Like if she can't come back immediately with amnesia and then use that and play it off, I want it to be 3, 4, 5, 6 months from now. Esme comes back looking like she done swallowed 3 watermelons and 14 basketballs. And she's standing in a puddle because her water just broke. And the next Cassadine heir is ready to make their appearance. That's really what I want for Esme. And I want Nicholas and Ava to have to deliver that baby, and then I want Ava to leave Nicholas after the baby is born. But the way that it's set up now, she is beholden to Nicholas. She was going to leave him, but now that Esme might potentially be dead, she can't leave Nicholas. She can't burn his world to the ground. She's trapped with his ass now. And I feel like he's going to use that against her. He's already gone into cover-up mode. Well, let me take care of everything. You stay in this room and you do this until I come back, and go to the room and stay there, and I'll take care of all of Esme's things. Like he is the person who is hiding the bodies. So now he has that to hold over her. Were you going to leave me after I did all of this to keep you from being implicated in Esme's disappearance? I said I was sorry that I slept with her, but now you want to up and leave me because of this? Like I did not like her being put in that position where Nicholas can keep her in that marriage, because we all know if she hadn't gotten that fight with Esme, her next trip was going to be to her lawyer.
Exactly.
Wherever the hell Scotty is right now, she was going to her lawyer.
Now, see, my question is the letter that was in that's the other thing that was pissing everybody off. So the letter that Esme was writing, the one that she did not want Ava to see, exactly. So it was supposed to be to Maggie, who had been her nanny or some shit, I think.
Yeah, she's always writing letters to her nanny Maggie, honey.
Okay, so now I would assume that at some point this Maggie person is going to make an appearance of some sort, because the two flip side of the theories that are duking it out right now is either Ava is either Esme's mother with the father as kind of a question mark, or Esme is actually Mac and Felicia.
Yeah, but they said they weren't going to make her Felicia's because of the shooting. They couldn't get Christina Wagner for the scenes that they needed.
That's ridiculous. I was looking forward to Esme being Felicia and Max.
Well, you was the only. Well, I'm gonna put it very to you bluntly, Sam. You about the only person who was, because many a person in the GH fandom has no desire for Esme Prince to be Felicia's child. They're like, don't you put that evil on Felicia?
I really want her to be related to Ava because I love the dynamic that they have. I love the way that they play off each other, and I want them to continue to hate each other, knowing that they're mother and daughter. I want them to continue to have this animosity between them until they eventually bond. I don't want them bonding immediately. Why would they? This little girl tried to blow her up. She done threw this little girl off the parapet. They not gonna have a kumbaya moment when they fight it out.
They can work it out if Carly and Bobby can get past, Carly stealing her husband, getting pregnant, passing Michael off as Tony's when it was really AJ's damn baby, and they actually have a functional mother-daughter relationship today. Yeah, Esme and Ava can get there eventually. It'll just take a decade or so.
Right. I'm saying eventually, yes. But in the here and now for the next 2 to 3 years, I want it to take 2 to 3 years for them to even be cordial with each other, where they're like, well, okay, you my damn mama. I guess I ain't got no other choice. I mean, I need somebody to talk to. So I guess I can ask you about this shit because you done been around. Like, that's the kind of, I want them to reluctantly need each other.
See, and the thing is,
to reluctantly seek each other out for help.
Also, here's the thing. Ava can hold her own with a character like Esme. Because here's the thing, not for nothing, Esme is a goddamn barracuda. Okay, that is what she is. She's a barracuda in human skin, and she's very comfortable doing whatever she needs to do. So far at this point, she didn't put a man in a coma. She didn't drugs people up. She didn't shot revenge porn to people and broadcast it to the public. Esme has no ethical sense or moral center to speak of. So for someone to deal with her as a relative, she has got to be dealing with a relative who can get down with her like that. And unfortunately, that's not Felicia and Mac. Mac is too good of a man to deal with a biological child of his carrying on like that. And Felicia's no more prepared for that. I mean, because out of the two, I would rather see Ava and Esme mixing it up than see Felicia and Mac stressed out because they have a daughter who's basically Rhoda from the bad seed, and Maxie realizes that you're trying to tell me that I lost Georgie as a sister for you to pop up here and say that that's my damn sister.
Right.
There's more drama. I agree. There is more drama if Esme is somehow Ava's child than there is if she's Mac and Felicia's. The last thing we need is Esme Prince trotting around Port Charles, living off of the goodwill of Mac Scorpios. Because that's the thing, everybody loves Mac. There is not a person. Mac is one of the universally loved people in that town.
Right. And we've already had a storyline on another show where a bad seed child enters this wholesome family. You know, Gwen over there fucking up the Devereaux on Days of Our Lives. They supposed to be so wholesome. So I don't want to see, Esme's already over here fucking up wholesomeness because she's got Trina's life in shambles. I'm ready to see Esme just really being the Hellcat daughter of Ava and fighting with her mama the way Donna Love and Victoria Hudson used to fight back in the day when they first found out they was family. They didn't really like each other. It took a while before Vicky and Donna accepted each other. Even Stephanie and that one girl of hers, that Kristen, they had a lot of angst in the beginning because Kristen was a daddy's girl and she just acted like she absolutely hated the fact that her mama was breathing air back in the day. Ugh, mother. That's how Kristen used to talk about Stephanie. Ugh, mother. I'm not. Ugh, mother. But then when Eric would be around, oh, Daddy, I'm so glad to see you. Oh, Daddy, you're home. Daddy, let me sit in your lap. You a grown-ass woman, Kristen. It's a giving cringe. It's giving
honestly, yeah. Christian used to treat Stephanie like she was Olivia Foxworth from the Flowers in the Attic series. Yeah, you're right. You're not wrong about that.
Yeah, it was very cringy. So I can understand Ridge and Stephanie having a cringy kind of relationship, and then Kristen and Eric having kind of a cringy type of relationship. Where I get you a mama's boy, you're a daddy's girl, but y'all been sitting too close in some of them scenes. I'ma just tell you that didn't sit right with my spirit a lot of the times. But at least it wasn't Ridge kissing on Bridget after she wasn't his daughter, and then now she ain't his sister. Now she could be a viable love interest. That was past cringy when they did that. But
yeah, that was gross.
Lord.
Gross.
That was gross and unneeded. But for Esme Prince, y'all, I want her to be, because Ava ain't got no sons for her to accidentally sleep with. And so it ain't never going to be no incest storyline surrounding her. I want her to be Ava's, and I want their relationship. Ava's got to come to terms with, damn it, this is my daughter, and I hate this girl. And I got to find it in my heart some kind of way to accept her. And it's still going to be the whole thing with Trina where Ava still favors Trina. And Esme is like, oh, you find out you my mama and you still like Trina better than you like me. But that's your history because you'll never treat your own daughters right. Like, I want to see those continuing arguments with Esme throwing all of the history in Ava's face.
Giving her all the smoke.
giving her all the
She's been
smoke.
throwing
I
her
want
a
to see.
lot. She has been throwing unprecedented amounts of shade at Ava for everything from not just from Donna, but specifically for Kiki.
Right.
She's really,
Why she
really been
knows.
digging in on that.
Right. So that's why I feel like they gotta be familiarly related. And I don't Esme has to know. I mean, I guess that's the only way it works out if Esme somehow knows. But then that wouldn't make any sense because she don't know who her mama is. Maybe it's just an intuition thing. Where you just don't feel right about somebody because you just don't feel right about them. Maybe that's it. She's got some kind of intuition that Ava should be close to her, but she's not, and so it's just the backlash. I don't know, but I want them to be
Mhm.
related because those two on screen having angst with each other is all that I ever want in life.
Oh, the Emmy reels are gonna be popping. Cause I'm sorry, when Ava, even with Ava letting that pin pan fly, and then Esme went for that whole tackle. These is, I swear, these is two women who will tear your entire castle to the ground, trying to take chunks out of each other. So putting them in the same genealogy pool is just, it's like soap. It would be soap gold. I mean, it's a story that literally writes itself. So it's not like the show has to think about this. It's sometimes I feel like GH has the same problem that the rest of the soaps have. Not so much days because they usually lean into stuff easier, but it's like the story writes itself. It's not complicated. It's not hard. All the elements are there. All you have to do is connect the damn dots like a damn Lego set, and bam, you have the story. And it's going to be a popping one. So if what you said is accurate, meaning that the original intention was for them to make Felicia Esme's mother, but then they pulled it back because of that unfortunate passing of and Jack's son, and that made her unavailable, and they decided to go the Ava route. And that is the case, I will say that that's actually not a bad way to reroute the story because yeah, I really would be more interested in seeing Esme Prince be Ava's child than be Felicia.
Yeah, because I would much rather see Ava front burner giving her hell than Felicia.
Pretty much. I mean, also, and the thing is, Felicia ain't really equipped. That's what I mean. Felicia, especially if they said it was going to be Felicia and Matt kid. One, they'd have to explain that shit. I'm not sure how they would explain it. I mean, I'll be honest. The fact that they sat up here and had Victoria and said Victoria Lord had twins and she didn't remember, okay, that means that you can pretty much make anybody's child and somehow make that mess work. But if they did, in fact, actually manage to do that, the drama just isn't going to be there unless something really weird and unexpected happens because there's no background with Esme and Felicia or Esme and Mac. There's no center, interactions to give you an expectation of what their relationship would be like. Whereas with Esme, it's the exact opposite when it comes to Ava. You have expectations, and all of them are bad, and they all include them trying to kill each other at this point. So making them mother and daughter would be, it would be soapy, really, really soapy.
Yeah, it's gonna be soapy, all right. But guess what, y'all? Y'all want to know how long? Huh?
Hmm.
Y'all want to know how long it's been since I watched GH? Since
I think you said
April.
a couple of weeks.
Since April. Well, actually, I probably did an episode in between, but I haven't watched regularly since April.
Well, that's okay. You said it. You said that if they can't hold your interest, you move on. So
But it was holding my interest. It was doing great. It was doing great, but when I got into when my bow started picking up, I just literally I didn't have time for any other ones.
well, the thing with GH is this: is that the only two stories on the show that really have legs that I could even pretend to have interest in. I don't have to pretend with Esme Prince and the havoc she's wreaking. That is easy and it writes itself. I don't have to force myself to be interested in that. This mess with Farina, at this point, I'm like, you know what? Y'all call me when y'all ready to do something. Because I'm not here for this will they, won't they shit or them dancing in circles around each other. We've been doing this for a year. I'm sorry. No, no, no. You call me when you're ready to let them be a couple. Okay? When you're ready to let them be a couple, I will start paying attention. But until then, all of this cute flirty banter and these key moments and all this crap, I don't have time for this kind of slow burn. Because you know what?
Ava and Valentine.
What about Ava and Valentine?
Is that who we're talking about?
No, 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 no. I was talking about Spencer and Trina.
Oh, that's the second of
But
it.
the same, but that's the same problem.
Yeah, I just stopped caring about both of them couples. To be real, if we being honest, I don't care about Sabrina no more.
They didn't dragged it out too long. Tell me when they're a couple, and I will pay attention. I'm gonna
Right.
be very
That's
honest.
at GH. They do drag these couples out too long.
This whole mess with Michael, I don't give a shit.
I don't even know what
Funny to
Michael
crush
been
Michael.
talking for 2 days, and I don't even know what the hell he talking about because I leave the room. And I guess Willow got the leukemia or something. Again,
Yeah,
I don't care. I leave the room and go do something else, get caught up with emails at work. If it's not about Esme and Ava, I don't care. I don't care. Yes, Miss Queen Lever, it's 9 o'clock. We wrapping it up. I know.
yeah.
I don't care about nothing on General Hospital except for Esme Prince and Ava motherfucking Jerome Cassadine.
Pretty much.
That's all I care about right now because that's where the action is on the show. Ain't nobody else got people racing to the TV. The Springer fans gonna be mad at me, but y'all know y'all tired of waiting. Today, Trina even said, "No, I ain't got no romantic feelings for Spencer no more." Trina has moved on from this shit, y'all. We still sitting out here talking about, I can't wait till they put them together. It's gonna be just like Steffi and Finn.
Technically, I think she's not being honest, but at this point, I don't care if she's being honest. They didn't took too long, and I'm sorry, but I like Liz in general, but this mess with her and Finn is not it. I don't care. So it's like you're right. The only story that's keeping your attention is the misadventures of Esme Prince.
Right, because what was going on with that girl in the stairs? I stopped looking. If she got a DID with, I don't even, you know what? I don't even care. Is the problem?
But that's the problem. It's something that's been going on with Liz for months. Where at first they thought there was a ghost and all this other mess, and now it looks like Liz. It came out that Liz does have some kind of cognitive issue going on, but they haven't actually named it. And then they have all this mess with Finn, and all people want is for her and Finn to be done because they can't stand them in a relationship. So now it's like, yes, the Misadventures. Instead of this show being called General Hospital, we should rename it The Misadventures of Esme Prince.
Yes, honey, because that's the only thing that makes it for me. Avery Pohl, if she ain't on contract, they need to put her on contract because she's bringing the heat. That's your super couple right there. That's your new Catherine and Jill. That's your new Brooke and Stephanie. Ava and Esme.
And that dynamic is damn hard to make and replicate. Because you can't it's hard to build those kind of relationships.
The chemistry they got is so off of the charts. It's unbelievable. Like the way that they just come at each other. I know they have fun doing those things. Because when Esme got up there in Ava's face and she was like, bitch, what you gonna do? I was like, ooh, Esme stood 10 toes behind that. Yeah, Esme was ready. And she is not intimidated by anybody. I love that.
No, she wasn't afraid to get her shit rocked either. She just kept going.
Girl, she started the rock. After Ava hit her, she was like, bitch, this fight is on. And she went for that football tackle, and it was all over after that. Scuffling and fighting and throwing punches like the men's, girl. We ain't seen a good soap opera fight like that since like the 80s or the 90s, if we're being honest. We had a good
Queen and Sheila had a good soap opera fight. Queen and Sheila had a good soap opera fight upstairs and downstairs.
Yeah, but they mostly just threw each other around with pillows. I don't remember either one of them drawing blood.
No, but they threw vases and stuff, and Quinn had a fireplace poker swinging it at her.
Yeah, that was the last time. That was the last time Bo had a worthwhile female on female fight.
Yeah,
It
that
actually went on a bit.
okay. Well, on that, let's wrap up, and then tomorrow, we might see Finn getting so close and into his woman. If they get the babies out the room first, that might be the next thing that happens.
And we will finally find out what the hell kind of picture ends up on social media.
Yes, I'm ready to see what Hope is posting, and I'm ready to see what Taylor is posting. And I hope she didn't take the picture backward because of the way she was holding the camera. I posted that. Now, what if she took that damn picture backwards and it automatically
posted it
on social media?
Right. We never thought about that. Like a status, like a relationship status change.
Yeah, the way that she was holding that camera, I was like, I bet you she got that camera turned the wrong way. You've seen people post the pictures. Well, so-and-so was supposed to be trying to take these pictures for me, but they got a bunch of pictures of themselves because they didn't understand how the camera on their smartphone worked.
Mm-hmm.
Or they weren't paying attention.
Not to mention people who have their stuff set up to automatically upload to Insta or something when they take pictures, which I think is insane. Never in my life. Ha!
I don't do that either because I might accidentally hit the wrong button and now somebody's seeing something on Instagram about my life they don't need to be seeing.
Exactly.
I would never do that. But when she took that picture, I'm telling you, the way she was holding that camera was more like she was taking a selfie than she was taking. Go back and watch that scene where she's taking that picture of the happy family. And to me, it felt more like she was taking a selfie. She's standing there grinning from ear to ear. Ridge is next to her grinning from ear to ear. She took that picture. She didn't check it. And she didn't show it to nobody for them to go, oh, girl, you tagged the camera, turned around the wrong way.
Especially if Ridge was hugging her like he always is.
Right. So I think that's my prediction for tomorrow. I was wrong about Deacon. So, don't bet no money on what I say today. But I feel like Taylor had that camera turned the wrong way, and that picture of her and Ridge then automatically posted. And now he got to go home and explain to Brooke why him and Taylor was taking such hugged up photos in Monaco.
Yep.
And that would explain why Hope probably would have been vindictive and took a similar picture and uploaded it on social media as tit for tat.
Exactly.
Well, we gonna see tomorrow. That you giving me food for thought, Bubble.
Charlie hit me in a vision, so we'll see tomorrow. I'm excited.
Yep.
All right.
Good night, ladies. It was a pleasure as always. Good night, everybody on YouTube and Twitter.
All right. Good night, everyone. Have a good one.
Thanks so much for coming out again. Thank you, guys.
Of course. See you tomorrow.